What's up, guys? I'm Olivia.
And I'm Kyle.
And we're driving and vibing.
Today we're talking to Lisa to get some insight about RV living as a solo traveler, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. And if it's your first time here, we would love for you to subscribe and join the Vibe Tribe.
So we're here at the Escapers Bash and we're getting to know some fellow escapers and learn about their story. And today we are here with Lisa. So how are you doing today?
I am great. Lovely morning. I love being warm. I hated the cold.
Yes. And this is your first time to Quartzsite, right?
My first time to Quartzsite.
So what is the first impression that you get so far, right up the top?
That everybody is very friendly.
Sweet.
I mean, everybody's been so nice and just so helpful. So any problems, people are just really willing to help you out.
Well, that is awesome to hear.
And that was similar to our experience as well, kind of getting out there at first. This Escapers group really helped us like feel at peace getting out there and kind of finding our way.
Exactly.
So before we kind of dive into some of the specifics about life on the road, can you just tell us what led you to this crazy decision to be a full-time RVer?
Sure. So in 2016, I turned 50.
All right.
And when I turned 50, I realized that even though I had a great life in DC, great friends, great organizations, it was exactly the same as it was at 40. And the repetitiveness of my life was kind of getting on my nerves. Not that there was a problem, it was just getting on my nerves. And then also, my father was killed in a car accident at 62. So I kind of started thinking, you know, if Daddy knew at 50 he only had 12 more years left, would he have done anything different? So those things were just sort of playing in my mind. And then as an introvert, I spend a lot of time in silence. So then I was just sort of led to RV life and things just started falling into place, and sort of about a year or so after it first came into my mind, I left.
Well, that's awesome to
That
hear.
is so amazing how that seed gets planted and it just grows and grows and grows.
Exactly.
So did you have any experience with RVing in the past, or what was that very first spark where you even realized RVing full-time was an option?
So I've never RV'd, never driven anything this big. I think I was watching tiny homes, but still, you would still have to commit to a place in general. And I was really thinking maybe at 65, you know, 60, I would do this, I'd sell my business. But then in that silence, I realized I could actually keep my business and just run it from the road.
That's so
then
great.
by not having to actually retire, I could leave sooner.
That is so great. And a lot of people are always asking all the time, what can I do for work on the road? And sometimes just being, if you work for a company and things like that, you can just ask. And a lot of times it's so easy. They're like, sure, you don't have to come into the office like to do this.
Right, so I have an interesting situation. I actually have a medical weight loss business that was started by my father in the 70s. He was a pioneering physician that started treating obesity. In 2000, I went back to work for my father, but in 2004, when he died, I vowed to continue his legacy, even though I'm not a physician. So I hired other physicians, other staff. And so I realized that if I could continue Dr. Beal's office without Dr. Beal, I could probably continue it without Lisa Beal. And so I talked to my staff, they're very supportive. We're all on the same page. I promoted from within. And so they let me live this dream of mine.
That's so
and I'm in contact with them when the office is open, so I might put in 2 or 3 hours a week of work.
Yeah.
That is so great. I think that's everyone's dream.
It's kind of the dream, yeah.
That's so awesome.
It's kind of the dream.
So with that, like the internet arsenal that you carry, did you do a ton of research on the front end, or are you learning as you go what works?
Well, I never wanted to go off the grid. I think when I first started telling people, because this is sort of different from most of the people who I know, and they thought I wanted to go off the grid. I don't want to be off the grid. You know, I always want to be found.
Yes.
And so I always make sure that I have my 2 cell phones. I have AT&T, I have Verizon, I just got a Weeboo cell booster. I call my mother every night. Every night. So I just did that sort of research, and just to make sure that I'm always in a place to where I have some kind of connectivity.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are the same way. We feel we like the balance of both worlds, this beautiful nature, but
Exactly.
staying completely connected and be able to get in touch with whoever we need to and run our business from wherever.
Exactly.
So one of the other things we're really interested in is a perspective from a solo female traveler. Can you give us some light on just what the experience is like, or how you've experienced that?
So I was a little nervous. I'm not going to lie, being out here by myself. Not that I haven't traveled alone, but you know, some of the United States, I was a little nervous. But everybody has been extremely helpful. It doesn't matter what town I've been in, what city I've been in. Other RVers have been helpful. Even being a part of this Escapers Convergence, another solo woman traveler, she reached out to me along my journey, and we met up in New Mexico.
Sweet.
So it really has not been a problem for me at all. I mean, I'm prepared.
Yes.
But
Yes, definitely.
but it's been
It never
okay.
hurts.
Yeah.
It never hurts to be prepared. And I'm very aware. Once again, I think being an introvert, I've always sort of been on the outside looking in. So I'm always looking around, seeing the situation. And you know, luckily so far, I have not felt the need to leave anywhere.
Well, that's good to hear, because you know, the awareness thing is something that we really learned whenever we hit the road, and whenever we go back and visit our hometown, we find ourselves being more unaware when we're traveling into Walmart or anywhere. So do you notice that increased sense of awareness just living this lifestyle?
I think I was always aware anyway, because I've traveled
Yeah.
so much by myself, especially internationally. So I've always been sort of looking around to see. So yeah, I've always been doing that.
That's a good habit to have, though.
Yes.
For sure.
So is this your first time boondocking here in Quartzsite, or have you kind of dabbled in it before? Because you've been on the road for probably like 3 or 4 months now.
I left the day after Thanksgiving, so it's been, I don't know, 6 or 7 weeks.
Oh,
No, I love boondocking, but I've done Walmarts, I've done lakes and national forests in Mississippi. I did some in New Mexico. Yeah, wherever I've done some mooch docking.
Yeah.
I've kind of done, oh, you know what I haven't? I haven't done truck stops or rest stops.
Yeah.
That's more than we covered in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Rest stops are the least fun of all of them.
Yeah, that I haven't done yet.
Yeah, we've only enjoyed those on seriously long travel days where we just need to pull off the
Just
interstate.
so tired and need to
Yeah.
rest. sort of
Well,
thing.
you know, speaking of safety, you know, I always make sure I leave in the morning. I always make sure that I will get to where I want to be by 3 o'clock, just in case something happens. So I don't push it. Like, I'm not trying to do anything on the edge.
That's a great plan to have. We love having extra daylight, because sometimes you get to a spot and you're like, I'm not feeling it, you know? And you
Exactly.
just want to move on, and that's totally fine.
Exactly. Or like the other day, I tow my car behind, and you can't back up, and Apple Maps sent me down the wrong street.
Yes.
Apple Maps got us into some sticky situations.
Tried to turn, couldn't back up. I had to unhook my car. So,
Oh,
you know, I
man,
needed
yeah.
that extra half an hour, and if I had been pushing it, it would have been tight. So.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're creatures of habit, and we used Apple Maps so much longer than we should have, but we finally switched over to
Likewise.
Google.
I know. I'm going to switch this.
I even deleted it off of my homepage because I would click on it by
Exactly.
habit every time.
Well, very cool. So in those few weeks, or in the 6 weeks you've been on the road, what has kind of been a very key experience so far?
I really do take every day just as it is.
Yeah.
I really do. I've met great people, had amazing food. So I tend to, wherever I am, I eat the local cuisine. So I've got to get back to Louisiana, you know, loved Texas, love the tacos in Arizona. So that's really what I tend to do. Just enjoy whatever it is, wherever I am. I've gotten to see friends who I haven't seen in 25, 30 years. And I've hung out at their houses for 4 or 5 days, just hanging out just on their couch with their family. So every day is a great day for me.
So great, the opportunities that we get to have
Exactly.
and experience.
Exactly.
I'm curious, personally, what advice you would have for someone that is a little nervous to take the leap and make the transition into full-time life?
Well, what I did is I actually had my RV in April, and I did not leave until November. So I did a lot of weekend trips. A lot of practice.
Okay, yeah,
A lot
that's
of
good.
practice. Short trips, learning how to conserve your resources, even if I had full hookups.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do you take a short shower? How do you conserve water when doing dishes? So just practicing and
Yeah.
driving.
Yes,
That's
easy-
it.
easy
I mean, that's
to
really the
do.
only way you
Yeah.
can do it, right? But I will say that for me, YouTube and you guys especially have been extremely helpful, because interestingly enough, I'm kind of dyslexic, so it's very hard for me to read.
Okay.
So, but by watching people, I was able to learn everything. So if I had to read this in books or read it in blogs, I don't know if I would be out here. But being able to see you guys and some others has been extremely helpful. So thank you so
Oh,
much.
Thank you
Yeah.
so
Thank
much
you so
for
much.
helping support us on
Yes.
our
Yeah.
journey. And
Yes.
we learned from so many YouTubers before us. And everyone likes to digest their information differently. We definitely preferred YouTube as well. And these people that helped us get out here and give us that confidence to get there, we wanted to share our little perspective of what it was like for us. So.
And I want to get back to, I like the point where you said you took these practice runs for months, because we took one practice run and we realized we forgot so many things. We forgot our pillows, we forgot towels maybe. So were there any things that really stood out that you remember, like learned from those practice runs?
Let's see. So some of my favorite things are my fly swatter.
Oh, cool. Yes.
I love my like my gloves. So whenever I'm doing anything with, you know, hoses or anything, I just or unhooking my car, I have my gloves. I like my tire pressure monitoring system. That's very helpful.
Oh, those are helpful things.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I'm sure many things we did not have when we began our journey. And that's the thing, even if you don't have everything you need right away, you're gonna find out quickly what it is you do need.
Exactly. If anything, I had too much stuff. Like I have way too many clothes still, you know, and or even like paring down your kitchen.
Yes.
You know, that
So
was
hard.
interesting. Like I don't need 4 different types of spatulas and 3 knives and all of that. So I probably did more getting rid of than buying more.
That totally resonates with us. Our kitchen gear is just the same. We had to get rid of it as we went, and our clothes.
We're
even.
still getting rid of things constantly. I'm like, I haven't worn this shirt in 5 weeks. Why is it still in here?
Right, exactly.
So before we sign off with everyone, will you let us know what you're traveling in and how you've liked that so far?
Sure. So this is a Thor Axis 25.2. I love it. It's about 25 feet. I have a rear bed slide out, so I actually have a full bed, full kitchen, full toilet, full shower, all the things I need. But the name of my new life is Lisa Untethered. So, and that's what's actually on my license plate here, out of DC, and that's just sort of how I'm living. I'm gonna do this until I hate it, whatever that is.
It's a great plan, and we got to peek in it earlier, and it is really cute and awesome. It is the perfect length that we think, like it's just the right size that we kind of are drawn to as well, and everything is very spacious and lots of storage and stuff, so I really liked your rig a lot too.
Thank you, thank you. And I tow my Ford Fiesta, so that way whatever town I'm in or boondocking location, I can always unhook and get wherever I need to be. So that's been very helpful.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all that with us.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yes, we appreciate you taking this time. We're so glad we got to meet you. We've talked a little bit on our channel and stuff, but it's so great to like put faces with all of these people that we have talked to and kind of built a relationship with online. And I love that everyone just kind of converges here in the desert and we all get to spend time together.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know what you learned from this video and share any tips as well that we can get from you.
So we'll also be doing quite a few more interviews while we're here in Quartzsite, so be sure to check back in and see all these other different perspectives we're going to be covering while we're here. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Later on.
Bye.